I had seen these permanent magnet motors before in a lot of YouTube videos. These were often promoted as free energy devices. So I built one to evaluate it as a free energy device. This type of magnet motor has some serious problems. First, the magnet in the moving hand has to be replaced by some kind of electromechanical arm that moves in and out. However, the most efficient way to do it would be to use an electromagnet. In my device, I use a reed switch that a moving magnet turns on and off to activate the electromagnet each time a magnet moves by it. There are two problems with this. First, there is no free energy. The energy comes from a battery. Secondly, this is basically how a conventional electric motor works. So what would be the point of pursuing this device further? The next problem is clearly understanding where the energy that turns the motor's rotor comes from. It does not come from magnetism. Magnetism acts only as a spacer. I show what I mean by a magnetic spacer by moving the magnets on the tabletop. The energy for moving the magnets comes from the muscles in my hand and arms. This same principle applies to the magnet in the hand moving the motor's rotor. Some people seem to think because the magnets don't touch, it is amazing, even magical. In reality, this type of magnet motor is not a free energy device and never has a chance of becoming one. In the next experiment, I show the magnet on the rotor moves basically the same distance my hand moves. Further proof it is the energy in my hand and arm that is really turning the rotor. The magnet in my hand just acts as a spacer. If the magnet merely acts as a spacer, I could be using the same amount of energy to turn the rotor if I used a piece of wood. I came up with my own design for a magnet motor. In my device, magnetism really moves the rotor. There is a rotor arm with 5 alternating pole magnets. On the other side of the rotor is an arm used only for counterbalance to keep the rotor level as it turns. The magnetic arm moves over a field of rows of alternating pole magnets. They alternate the same way the arm magnets alternate. This way I could fit the magnets together. I only had enough magnets to make a quarter of a circle. I could in theory make a complete circle. I have to force the arm into the repulsive magnetic field. The arm moves from the strong repulsion to the weak repulsion. When the arm comes around to the beginning, energy has to be used to force it into the strong field again. The advantage of my device is the energy impulse is needed only once in a complete cycle. This design is closer to free energy than any other magnet motor.